Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are unpacking a massive, truly fascinating paradigm. Honestly, if you've ever felt like you're just constantly fighting against the current of your own life, you are definitely going to want to pay close attention to this one. We're exploring reality transurfing, which is based on the work of Russian researcher and former quantum mechanics expert Vadim Zeland. Across a staggering 700-page volume, Zeland lays out what basically reads like a highly systematic metaphysical instruction manual for the universe itself. It's a dense, complex system for sure, but we're going to break it down into highly actionable pieces so you can understand exactly how this model claims our universe actually works.
Okay, let's dive into this with a provocative question. What if you don't create reality, but simply select it? This right here is the ultimate provocative hook of the entire transurfing philosophy. In this framework, you aren't out there painstakingly building your reality brick by brick through sheer physical exhaustion and struggle. Instead, the premise is that all possible realities already exist, and your job is simply to select the one you want to experience. It represents a total shift. You go from being a struggling builder of your life to simply being a chooser.
Here's our cognitive roadmap for this explainer. 1. Decoding transurfing. 2. The alternative space. 3. Beware the energy pendulums. 4. The trap of excess potential. 5. Heart, mind, and intention. And finally, 6. The tough debraid technique. Don't worry, we're going to make all of this make sense.
All right, starting off with section 1, decoding transurfing and making sense of the books.
So before we get into the actual mechanics of reality, we have to acknowledge a major hurdle for pretty much anyone researching this topic, and that's the notoriously confusing structure of Zeland's book series itself. Thankfully, a really deeply researched Reddit thread gives us the ultimate clarification here. When people talk about reality transurfing steps I through V, they're usually talking about a single, massive compendium book. It is not just a numbered 5-step list of techniques. Those 5 steps actually refer to the 5 original individual books published in the series, starting with The Space of Variations all the way down to Apple's Fall to the Sky. So if you hear someone say step 2, they literally just mean the content of the second book, A Rustle of Morning Stars. Okay, with that sorted out, let's look at the theory.
Moving right along to section 2, the alternative space, the universe as an information field.
To play the game of reality transurfing, we obviously have to understand the board we're playing on. According to the source material, this environment is called the alternative space. It's defined as an infinite non-material information field containing every single potential variation of anything that ever was, is, or will be. And Zeland's framework makes a pretty incredible claim here. It posits that the human brain doesn't actually generate thoughts or even physically store memories. Instead, your brain acts like a biological antenna. It simply tunes into pre-existing coordinates within this static, infinite information field. When your thought energy radiates at a specific frequency, it creates a resonance with the specific sector of this space, which then materializes into your physical world.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of the dual mirror of reality. On one side, you have the metaphysical space, which reacts instantly to your thoughts, no delay. But on the other side, you have physical reality. And because physical reality is dense, heavy material, it experiences a time lag. This right here is the frustrating physical delay we all experience in life. We change our thoughts, but our physical life doesn't change instantly, right? People get super frustrated by this delay. They look at their current negative physical reflection, they react negatively to it, and in doing so, they accidentally project a brand new negative image into the mirror. It literally locks them in a loop of bad events. To transurf, you absolutely have to hold your vision despite that time lag.
Which brings us to section 3. Beware the energy pendulums, parasites of the mind.
So if the rule is we just have to hold a positive vision while the mirror catches up, why is life so difficult? Well, enter the pendulums. The text states, a destructive pendulum forces goals onto its adherents. A pendulum plays on human emotion, thereby catching the individual in their web. In transurfing, pendulums are autonomous energetic structures, and they're created whenever a group of people begins to think in a uniform way. They are essentially parasites of the mind, and they feed entirely on your emotional polarization. A pendulum does not care if you love it or hate it, whether it's political outrage, fear, guilt, or greed. As long as you are reacting emotionally, you're feeding that pendulum your energy, and it's going to drag you onto a negative lifeline.
To starve a pendulum and reclaim your stolen energy, the source material gives us 2 highly tactical strategies. The first is extinguishing.
This basically means expressing absolute total indifference. You recognize the provocation, but you intentionally deny it any emotional engagement whatsoever. You just let it swing right past you. The second strategy is disruption. This is when you confront the pendulum script with an entirely unexpected or even humorous response. By reacting in a totally anomalous way, you immediately break the feedback loop, and the pendulum completely loses its grip on you.
Let's jump to section 4, the trap of excess potential, or when importance causes failure.
You might be wondering, what makes us so vulnerable to these pendulums in the first place? It all comes down to a concept called importance, and this brilliantly illustrates the idea through an academic formula from the text. Pxs equals I times d reality. Basically, when you place massive importance on a goal, like say desperately needing a specific job or forcing a relationship to work, you distort reality and you generate excess potential. The universe absolutely hates excess potential because the universe demands equilibrium. So the moment you make something too important, the universe activates balancing forces to restore that equilibrium. And unfortunately, these balancing forces almost always act to make you fail. The source gives this amazing example. Walking on a beam on the floor is easy, right? Zero importance. But raise that exact same beam between two skyscrapers. The importance skyrockets, excess potential is generated, and those balancing forces make your knees shake, making you far more likely to fall.
This brings us to a massive aha moment from the academic text comparing reality transurfing to traditional manifestation. The classical law of attraction requires high-intensity emotional desire, passion, and intense yearning. But as we just learned in reality transurfing, yearning creates excess potential. Therefore, transurfing demands the exact opposite: zero importance and complete emotional detachment. You don't yearn for your goal. You simply act impeccably with the quiet, unemotional expectation that it's already yours.
Next up, section 5, heart, mind, and intention. Inner versus outer intention.
So, once we actually manage to drop our importance to zero, how do we navigate the alternative space and actually choose our reality? Zealand differentiates between inner and outer intention. Inner intention is what we are all totally used to. Physiological willpower, struggle, competing, literally trying to directly manipulate the physical world around us. Outer intention, however, is a metaphysical force. It's not about doing, it is the quiet, absolute resolution to have. Outer intention is the force that actually coordinates the shifting of reality itself, bringing the desired sector of the alternative space right to your doorstep.
But here's the catch. Outer intention only works when your heart and your mind are in complete unity. Like, the mind might logically want a prestigious, high-paying job, but the heart might feel deeply constricted by it. Zealand calls the alignment of the two the rustle of the morning stars. You have to listen for these non-verbal, intuitive whispers of the heart. The text explains that you know you've found alignment by paying attention to physical feelings in your gut. If you feel deep inner comfort, your heart is aligned. If you feel physical constriction or you find yourself having to actively talk yourself into something, your heart is signaling a very clear no, and outer intention simply cannot flow.
Let's move to and see how this builds in section 6, the Tufte braid technique, actionable reality composition.
To actually build this into a daily practice, Zealand introduced a physical technique sourced from the Tufte priestess material to focus your outer intention. It's called the braid of intention, or the kasitsa. The translated text defines it as an energetic plexus. Now, I know it sounds a little bizarre, but it's felt as a phantom body part, much like a regular braid of hair, sticking out at an angle from your spine, right there between your shoulder blades. Practitioners use this highly specific, kind of weird physical sensation to practically hack their focus and anchor their mind while they visualize.
And here is the precise morning routine shared by practitioners on Reddit to compose reality. Step 1, activate the braid. One common method is to inhale and imagine a vertically hanging arrow on your back, and as you exhale, you imagine that arrow tilting backwards, activating that physical sensation between your shoulder blades. Step 2, hold that feeling. Keep your attention firmly anchored on that spot on your back. Step 3, while holding that sensation, compose your target reality frame. Visualize your goal vividly, knowing with absolute certainty that your intention is being broadcast directly into the alternative space.
So the crucial point is summarized beautifully in this single, powerful directive right from the original text. Do not ask, do not demand, do not struggle, just create. The entire transurfing mindset is really about stepping off the battlefield. You stop trying to force the physical world to bend to your will through sheer panic and effort.
You drop the importance, you completely ignore the pendulums, you unify your heart and mind, and you simply select the reality you wish to inhabit.
Which leaves us with this final, vital question to consider today. If reality is indeed a dual mirror with a physical time lag, what image are you projecting right now? Are you reacting to the delay with frustration and fear, feeding the pendulums and projecting more negativity? Or are you finally ready to drop your excess potential today, hold your vision, and simply quietly observe your new reflection as it arrives? Thank you so much for exploring reality transurfing with us on this explainer today.